Okay, welcome to Barely Famous. This is another episode brought to you by your Barely Famous host, Kail Lowry. Today I have Bailey Spinn here with me, and you took the TikTok world by storm.
I did. I kind of shocked everyone this summer and just like blew up the algorithm and took over the For You page for a couple months.
How did this happen? How did you do this?
It was kind of an accident. I had been making the same videos since I started. They were POVs, but then one day I saw a girl on my For You page who was one of my mutuals, and she was speaking. None of us had spoken ever in these videos. It was just lip syncing. So I was like, wait. And she was gaining followers as fast as I'd ever seen, like 300K overnight. And I was like, hang on, I kind of want to get on that. So I posted one, and then it just
talking?
Yeah. So I did the same video I was making, except I started speaking out the lines, and I was acting out the other characters. It's really awkward. I just have to, like, speak into my phone.
Yeah.
But it ended up just blowing up totally out of proportion, and I could have never expected it. It was, like, every video for probably a month had at least 10 million views.
What?
Yeah. It was, I didn't even know. It doesn't happen anymore, but something I was chosen. Was a chosen one.
What's it like to be God's favorite?
It was shocking.
Like an overnight celebrity on TikTok. Like,
it really
how crazy.
was. I was just like watching. I'd never seen my follower count go up so quickly. And you see other people blow up like that, like Charlie, and like my friends had that, and I was like, whoa, like 2.3, and then it was at 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then eventually it kind of leveled off at like 7.5 million. But I had started at 2.
Right.
And it was in the span of 3 months.
Right.
So I was so confused, and I still kind of don't understand, because it was like, to me it feels like I just had that.
Right.
And then overnight it was like everybody was talking about it. There was videos about it. Everybody was just like, who is this girl and what are these videos? Because they weren't that popular until everybody started speaking in them.
What were you doing prior to TikTok?
I was just a high school student. I mean, I kind of used the app like freelance, just like everybody else did. I would like dance once in a while, but I never was posting those videos. But I was just in high school, and once quarantine hit, that's when the app started to really blow up because everybody was bored. So I started posting, and then it was just like history. It just kept going and going, and I never stopped.
And are you able to get paid from your views?
Yeah, there's a creator fund on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm in it. I left it for a while because I think it affects your views, so I don't really like to be in it because I'm like, well, I could be getting more, but at the same time, like, it's just another source of income, so I like to stay on it just in case.
Totally. No, I think that people don't realize that you can make money that way.
Yeah,
like,
you
just by
can.
watching TikTok. It's so crazy.
I know. Just, like, scrolling through the For You page, like, if they're in the creator fund, like, you just gave them a cent.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even know.
That's so funny. Have you received any, like, backlash at all for any of your videos, or are they all just, like, mainly, like, fans supporting and, like, love it?
They're mostly fans supporting and, like, love it. I make a lot of jokes, and sometimes the jokes aren't well received. Mm-hmm. But it's mostly people who are just, like, being a little bit sensitive about it. Like, if I made a joke about, like, boys or something, and they were like, you are stereotyping men. And I was like, guys, it's a POV.
Right.
I was like, I don't mean it. Like, I promise you I would never act like that in real life. Like,
right.
And I didn't do it again. I was like, I mean, like, I understand. I won't, if I'm not trying to make you guys mad. So I'll just keep on PG.
Totally.
And keep the jokes in line that nobody can have any harm from it.
Have you collabed with other TikTokers?
Yeah, I've done a couple collabs, a lot with, like, close friends. I'm one of those people, I like to collab with people I'm comfortable with.
Right.
Because I'm already uncomfortable behind my phone, like, every day. I'm just, like, whenever you put a camera in front of me, I'm like, huh? But I've collabed with, like, my friend Devin, Brooklyn. I'm trying to think. It's a lot, like, Carter, Maddie.
Yeah.
A lot of my, like, close circle friends.
Yeah.
Those are the people I like to make videos with because they just look more authentic too.
Right. Well,
and it's not like forced.
Totally. And if you know them, it just makes it easier. Mm-hmm.
It just like looks better too.
I don't understand the algorithm for TikTok. I have 2 million followers on there and I don't get it. Like
it's always changing.
Yeah, and you have to keep up. You have to post like every day, multiple times a day, and I just don't have it in me. Like, I just don't.
I barely have it in me sometimes. It really is, like, people don't realize how much of a struggle it is to pump out videos onto, like, every single platform every single day.
Yeah.
Because I'll be sitting there for hours just, like, on my phone, typing out POV after POV and then reposting them. And then 3 TikTok videos, like, especially with my niche, the videos take, like, 30 minutes to do. So I ended up giving myself, like, 2 hours on TikTok just every single day just to get content out. And if I'm, like, doing makeup for a transition or something, it's even longer.
Right. It's a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
It's a full-time job. That's so crazy. So you are a anti-bullying advocate.
Yes,
and
yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my high school experience was not the best. It started out fine. I was a little bit annoying my freshman year, gotta admit. I mean, I was 14. I'm a young high school student, but people just started to say really mean things about me, and I had never really experienced that before. People would make little side comments or whatever, but they were, like, spreading rumors about me that were just, like, totally untrue. Like, I had never done or heard any of these things before. I'm like, wow, like, I didn't even know that, like, about me, myself. So they would make fun of me for acne, like my weight, everything. And I ended up not having that many friends. Throughout the whole, like, 4 years of high school, I would switch between, like, group and group. I just, like, could never really find people that fit me. I still have one best friend, but it wasn't that much of a problem until I got to, like, my junior and senior year. The one experience I can, like, point out that was really bad, I wrote my college essay on this. One day I was in the bathroom, and I walked into the stall, and they had these little pieces of paper that were, like, sign up for psychology. It just would, like, on the back of the stall telling you to sign up for class. I was like, okay. And then on this piece of paper, someone wrote, like, I don't remember what the initial one was, but it was Bailey Spinn. I remember people were pointing arrows towards it with pencils in the bathroom saying, like, she kissed my boyfriend, like, she's ugly, she's fat, like, a bunch of terrible things. And so I ripped that paper down, ran to the office, because I'm like, who the heck would do that? Like, take the time to pull a Sharpie out and write that stuff. And I thought it would end there. And then it kept happening, but it was getting worse. They realized the piece of paper was not permanent enough. So they started drawing with Sharpie onto the toilet paper holder and the wall, like the bathroom wall. They wrote in highlighter and pen once. And they would write it on, like, the feminine products trash can. But they started to get worse. They were writing KYS. If you know it, yeah. They were writing that and just, like, variations telling me basically to not be here. So one of them specifically I remember that kind of got to me is they drew a stick figure with a noose, and then they wrote, like, KYS underneath. And it was, like, my name. Like, they were writing this for everyone to see. It was, like, public embarrassment and harassment. And I knew I had been, like, a little bit of a rebellious kid, and, like, all kids are a little mean sometimes, but in no way does that ration, like, publicly humiliating me for everyone to see. And they would have to call the custodians and get them to erase it. I never found out who did it. And I just had a lot of friends along the way who just really didn't care about me. And they would say things behind my back or try to just, like, out me. And I thought they were my friends, and they weren't. And that's okay. But it just really was getting to me. And I ended up being kind of glad when quarantine hit, because I was just alone my senior year. I was in the back of the class just by myself, didn't have friends, didn't want to talk to anyone after this. I didn't know who I could trust. And that's why I'm so anti-bullying now. I just really never, ever want someone to go through what I was going through when I saw that, because that was traumatizing.
Sure.
And people, like, don't understand, like, that's where I came from, and that's how I've become the person I am, is because I had to, like, push through all of that, because that can definitely get to some people. And I'm glad that it did not get to me at the time, but I want everyone, like, to know that if they're in trouble, like, please get help and, like, speak out. I wish I said more when this was happening, at least to, like, my parents or someone, but bullying seriously gets to people. Like, the small comments you make, you think they don't do anything at the time, but they have consequences on people's mental health that you might not even see. Like, it was for me. I was crying in my room. You know, I'm not posting it anywhere, but nobody was seeing it. It was just, like, sadness. And it's so sad for kids to feel that way, and I don't want anyone, even adults, to feel that way, like, ever.
Totally. So who did you confide in during this time?
Honestly, not a lot of people. I had actually lost my best friend. We just both were kind of going, like, separate ways our senior year. We just, like, kind of were both in a weird place, not getting along. We're good now. But we fell off, and then I didn't really have any friends. I kind of would eat lunch in the bathrooms on the toilet by myself.
It's like literally from Mean Girls.
Yeah, pretty much. I was on my computer and I'd be playing Minecraft. I had, like, the most elaborate Minecraft world you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have really anyone to confide in. I didn't talk to the school counselor. They just, like, didn't really understand, like, how bad this was. And I kind of told my parents, but even my dad will tell me now, he's like, was that all really happening? Was it really that bad? And I was like, it was really that bad. I was like, I just wouldn't tell anyone. I couldn't do it because people had been twisting what I was saying anyways and just making me out to someone who I wasn't. So I just decided I was going to keep it to myself.
That's so hard. I have a 12-year-old, and he's going to middle school next year, this year. And I think about that all the time. And I hear, like, middle school into high school is the hardest. And when I think back to my own, high school career, it just, you never really knew where the bullying came from. Like, why? Like, what a weird time.
I know. It was just, like, out of nowhere, too. People would start so many rumors about me that I didn't even know. Like,
why?
I know. I was like, why would you do that? Like, where did that even come from? I never get it when people can just, like, make something up and start spreading it like it's true. I'm like, I don't get it. Why would you even want to do that? That's just so mean.
Totally. So do you talk about this on your TikTok at all?
I actually haven't. I've told, like, a lot of close friends, but I haven't really spoke about it too publicly, so this is my one time. Yeah, this is my first time. Because I'm really over it now. I kind of see, like, whoever was doing it at the time was a bad person. I mean, to sit in the stall and think, let me pull out a Sharpie right now, like, you really had to put some forethought into that. It wasn't just like a one-time thing either. They kept going, and the handwriting was always, like, the same. They did that little, like, swoop thing with the A's, so I would look at them back and be like,
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
It's okay. I'm good now.
It's horrible. And then you've also worked with the National Eating Disorder Association. So what all did you do with them?
So I made a TikTok. Well, first I made a series of videos just like last year speaking about eating disorders and everything like that. And then I started to get a lot more interest in them. They're like the nonprofit that I keep in my bio at all times for people to donate to. I think it's a really important cause. And then I ended up doing another video with them this year, and just talking more about how so many people are affected by eating disorders every day. And it's also something, like, you don't see it. Not everybody with eating disorders feels comfortable talking about it. Some people are more vocal and want to get help, but not everybody can. So that's something that I really want to show to my followers, especially since they're so young. And I want them really just to know, like, please get help. Like, don't feed into standards. Just, like, be you, eat what you want, do what you want. Just, like, everything like that. But I hope to work with them more in the future, and maybe even, like, speak or do something, like, in person. That would be amazing.
I think it's really hard for younger generations. How old are you?
19.
Yeah. For you guys too, because you guys are growing up where you didn't know what it was like without social media. And so the younger generation kind of just comparing themselves to other girls, other, kids. And so it's so hard when you don't have, that's all you guys know.
I know, yeah. It's just, like, video after video of the most beautiful, perfect girl you've ever seen. But I kind of think of it now. I'm like, yeah, she's perfect. But I was like, why wouldn't I be, too? It's just kind of trying to ignore the videos and just think of it as, like, hyping someone else up, but try not to compare. Because comparing is what will get you.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to be beautiful in yourself. Like, you're not her. You are you, and that's great. You don't gotta be her.
Right. I'm sure that the girls that were doing this to you when you were in high school are literally so pissed off right now. You're they're like
they are
10, 11 million followers on your TikTok, and they're wishing they were in your shoes now. Like, thanks a lot. So what else are you working on? Like, what other, like, projects do you do besides TikTok?
Yeah, so I recently have been doing a lot more acting. I've been trying to get into that more. It's kind of all what I do on my page, and then I kept insisting that I couldn't act. And I've been doing auditions for different things, and then even my manager was like, you can act. And I was like, oh, I just can't, like, get in front of the camera. So I've been doing that. Hopefully something will come my way soon. It's been really fun doing something new. And then I also started playing the electric guitar earlier this year.
Oh, cool.
So I'm kind of a beginner. I'm not great. I can play, like, one song, I think, like, very poorly.
That's
and
okay.
then I've been taking vocal lessons too, because I've
cool.
always had a super big, like, music passion, and that's something I never post either. So I was like,
cool.
Now's my time.
You should post it.
I know, I'm just
People would love
anxious.
It. I had
mean.
a comedian in here the other day, Holmes, and she does like skits on her TikTok, and she's big on TikTok, and she said improv is really good for people who are wanting to get into acting and stuff, because it just gets you on the spot and in front of people, build confidence and stuff like that. Yeah. So you should check that out. Are you from here?
No, I'm from Virginia.
Oh, okay. So how did you end up in LA?
So it's kind of a long story. I feel like all my stories I keep rambling.
No, you're fine.
So I grew up all the way in Virginia. It was kind of near DC, super small, like, little suburb, super cute, super
I'm from
safe.
Delaware, so I get it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. I've been to Delaware. And then I wanted, after the high school experience, I was like, I need to get out of here as far as I physically can. So when I was applying to colleges, I applied to SDSU, and that was the only school in California I applied to, but it was the only one I wanted to go to. All the other ones, I applied to, like, only one Virginia school because they offered me, like, a scholarship, and I could have swam there. But I just really want to go to SDSU, and then one day I was in my email, did not expect to get accepted, and I was, and it was just an email, and I literally screamed. I was in the bathroom, and I yelled, and I ended up going to San Diego State my whole freshman year, loved it. And then I started blowing up on TikTok this summer. That's when the whole account skyrocketed and everything. It was like right when I was about to go back to school too. And I had
your sophomore year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had like a little bit of a following before. I mean, 2 million's a lot.
Yeah.
But it's kind of not enough in like the LA world to really like sustain yourself like comfortably. At least I wanted to make sure that I was in a place where I would be totally comfortable, like able to just like be an adult, not worry about it. So once I started blowing up more, I went back to school. And I didn't like where I was living at the time, and I kind of was like, man, I really, like, want to go to L.A., and a lot of my friends were encouraging me. They were like, you should come. Like, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
And then I visited my friend, Brooklyn, and I ended up having a great time. I met her roommate. I met a bunch of people here, and I saw what they were doing. They were going to events, and they were, like, going to the beach on weekdays, and I was like, is this what y'all do down here? Like, and I'm missing out. So in the span of a week, I ended up going back from that trip, filling out an apartment application for the same building that they lived in. I didn't expect to get accepted. I didn't even know that I had credit. I didn't know what credit even was.
Right.
I'm like a child. And then I got accepted. And the problem was that the lease started on October 22nd, and I filled it out on like the 18th.
Oh,
so
shit.
within 4 days, I had to be in LA to go get the keys. It was like the most
What's the drive? It was
spontaneous.
like hours apart, San Diego and LA.
Yeah, it's like with traffic, probably like 3, but I would go in the middle of the night, which was kind of smart
Okay,
because it would be like an hour and 50, which was way better.
Okay. And so what was the transition for you, like the differences between college and high school? Like you were just more accepted, you already had friends there, or what was that like for you?
Yeah, I didn't have any friends when I went to SDSU. I kind of wanted like a clean slate.
Yeah.
So I ended up making some friends my freshman year, except I was like a COVID freshman, so we really weren't allowed to leave. Like we were trapped in our rooms. They trapped us in on Halloween. They said, don't go out. You're not allowed. It was no in-person classes. I was just stuck in the room. So I had a couple friends, and then I ended up joining a sorority my sophomore year, and that like changed the game. Except at that point I kind of already had wanted to leave school just for personal reasons, not even because of them, but I absolutely loved them, and they made it so much better. I had a bunch of like girls who were near me, and they all still talked to me, and it was just like the best thing ever. And I had never had just like a group like that. Like we would go out in like groups, and it was so exciting. So that was kind of how it transitioned, because high school there was no one. And freshman year I definitely had some friends, and I did a lot more, but sophomore year is when it kind of started to get good. But then I moved all the way to LA,
But it worked out for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
it ended up being good in the end.
what do you do now? Besides, do you work? Do you not? Like, do you just do TikTok?
Yeah, I just do TikTok.
I love that.
do YouTube. I post on really everything, because
Yeah.
everything kind of gives you bonuses and all
Yeah.
of that. So if I'm pushing content out into every single platform that I
Yeah.
possibly can, I'll be good. I'm
Yeah.
like, I could always pick up another job. I have a lot of other interests. I feel like I'd want to.
In
Like,
LA,
make my
I
own
feel
brand.
like you could do anything.
Yeah, literally.
Literally
And
anything.
you
I
could
saw
just buy a shop.
I watched this freaking video, or it was this new show on MTV, and it's like, help, I'm in a secret relationship, and his job was being a professional cuddler.
A professional cuddler.
Yeah, in LA.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck
that
is that?
honestly fits LA. You can.
I was like, you could do anything in LA.
I know, you could just like start dancing in the street if you
And
wanted to, and
get
like
paid.
make videos.
Yeah, it's fine. I love that. So what's your favorite part about TikTok?
Oh, that's a good one. Probably just that I get to like express myself. I love it too because I always get to pick songs that I like, and then it like kind of inspires me. I love music, so I'll make videos that are just like the most energy possible, and the POVs are really a great way to kind of express myself,
Right.
and get out any emotions. Like if I'm mad, like maybe the POV that day I'll be more mad, or like I'll base it off of the music that I'm listening to. So it's really fun just to get to be able to be so creative,
Yeah.
and somewhere that it's accepted and people appreciate it, and they're like, this is so good, like we love you.
Totally. Are your parents supportive?
Oh yeah, they are so supportive. I actually didn't tell my dad that I moved to LA for like 3 months.
Oh shit.
After he ended up being supportive. I was too scared, but they are so supportive. They're the sweetest people ever. They've always been so supportive. They still help me. are on me about my taxes, getting everything done. They're really just, they love me so much. I just saw my dad like 2 days ago. We went to Santa Monica Pier together and got seafood.
Oh, nice.
And like looked at the ocean. He loves the ocean.
So do they live out here now, or are they still in Virginia?
No. They still live in Virginia. My mom would never move to California.
Really?
She's too like laid back. She can't drive. She always has this joke that she can't drive. And she can't drive on back roads. Like, she also has like a little bit of a blind eye.
Okay.
So she just can't be in LA. Yeah. She's too scared.
This is like a different country, I swear.
Yeah, it is. It's a culture shock.
I've been here a bunch. I always work out here, and I feel like it's literally just a different world.
It genuinely is. Like, coming here, especially from being in Virginia, like, there's nothing in Virginia. It's just like house, like a cow once in a while, and like some trees. And then here, it's just like there's someone everywhere at all times. I've never seen so many people just out all the time. I can't even like drive here. It's just like a culture shock.
Yeah. I've been ordering insomnia cookies every single night since I've been here.
Good.
Yeah. And they deliver like until 3 a.m. It's great. We don't have anything like that in Delaware.
You can't tell me that now. I'm going to be ordering cookies tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and they come so fast
that
I'm like, this is amazing. I love it.
I know, they're quick.
So what is a dream collab for you?
Like a brand or
anything?
TikTok?
A TikTok, brand, anything.
Ooh, okay. So TikTok, I have this obsession with Nessa Barrett. She's just kind of someone like me. She's a little bit more followed than me, but she kind of transformed her platform into making music, and I love her music so much. She has a song called Dying on the Inside, which is kind of talking about eating disorders and like how she feels, and that song like literally made me burst out crying. So like even in a music aspect or even just like dancing with her, like I just want to meet her. Like, she's so adorable. I take so much inspiration from her and just like what she does, and she seems like a sweet girl. But
I love that.
I love her so much.
Do you have any projects that you want to plug? I
can't really think of any at the moment.
Do you ever run out of content? Like, do you run out of ideas or anything, like writer's block, but for TikTok?
Yeah, I run out of ideas basically every single day now. I don't know what to make anymore. I've been making these videos literally for 2 years. So my POV brain has just like run dry. And that's why I've been trying to branch out my content a little bit more, because I just can't make these videos over and over and over. There's only so much I can really do, and so many things I've done like 4 times, and I'm just like hoping that nobody notices. So I always have writer's block, and now don't even really like what I'm posting at the moment, because I feel like it's all started to like mesh together, and all the plot lines are kind of the same. It follows the same like storyline, and I just like am not really a fan of it. But I'm trying to like brainstorm new ways to make it entertaining while also being fresh and like new, because there are so many people making POVs too. They'll get to things before I do. I've literally had an idea, and then I'll scroll my For You page and I'll see that somebody else did it, and I'm like, well, I can tag them now. But you know, I'm used to make every single idea. I would not like copy off of anyone else's. Totally. And now I've kind of been looking at other people's pages and seeing what they're doing, because my brain is just dry.
I mean, I think as long as you're giving credit, TikTok is a trends platform. So I mean, yeah, you've had your run with like doing your own original content, but as long as you tag and give credit, I feel like that's fine. Yeah. What about Get Ready With Me's? Because your outfit is super cute.
Thank you.
Yeah. What would you describe your style? How would you describe your style?
I actually literally just found out what I would describe it as, because of a very sweet stylist I had styled me perfectly. I'd say princess punk.
Okay.
That kind of stuff, because I really like the punk look, like leather, black, corsets, you know, a lot of that kind of stuff. But I have a bubbly personality, I feel like. I'm very like Katie from the Lorax, just like, But I just felt like the super dark style didn't fit me all the way. I needed some way to like spruce it up a little bit and make it more me.
Right.
Because I love color, and I think the hair adds, and I have like strawberry shortcake boots on right now. But I'd love mini skirts and like all that kind of stuff. And just color. I love color. I can't be without color.
You should do some content like that with your style.
I know. My thing is with the style, people are really mean about bodies on the internet.
Yeah.
And I can't take comments about my body, because I've struggled with an eating disorder myself.
Right.
So I just really can't like take the comments of them making fun of me. So
no, I totally get that. It's been I also struggle with that, especially on social media. Like, I already struggle with body image. Yeah, they're just crazy, and it's just so a weird thing to attack someone for, like their weight or their body. Like, it just feels really weird. Like, it's not something I would ever do.
I know. I don't get it either. Like, I just don't understand scrolling past someone's video and feeling the need. Like, why do you guys even care? Like, it's not your life. It's not your body. Move on.
Yeah.
Like, I see someone's video and I'll be like, she looks great. And I'll keep going. And I'm like, y'all really felt the need to open the comment section, think up something mean, and leave it for that person to see. Like,
it's, like, very weird.
It is. And they don't think of consequences when they're doing it because they're just typing behind their phone, like, in their bed, just saying something rude. And usually they're, like, young or they're just mean.
It's always women. For me.
Really?
Yeah.
I get a lot of men.
Really?
The women are so supportive of me, and then the men they tell me that I'm built like a boy because I'm a little bit like, I don't have much voluptuous up top, and I don't have that small of a waist, but I'm like pretty little. So they just like, you look like a boy.
But see, that's even weirder to me for men to comment on your TikToks, like, or your content. Like, that's very strange.
I don't get why they would say anything. It's just like so bizarre. Girls, I get a lot because some girls are just like girls are mean. Yeah, pretty much.
Has anyone from high school ever reached out and like apologized or like tried to be your friend?
No one that really like did me wrong has tried to apologize. We kind of just like went our separate ways. But a lot of people who kind of didn't talk to me that much try to talk to me more now. Like, I have people who will just like call me and I don't even have their number saved, and I'll be like, Who is this? I know, they're like, hello? And then they'll be like, oh, this is this kid. And I'm like, okay, but why are you calling me 2 years after when we were friends, you know, for like a month? But I've kept a lot of the same friends, but some of the people I'm just like, I mean, when I blow up and then you're supportive of me, but like you weren't before, you like never even looked in my direction. It's kind of like, what are you interested in?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I hope that you find some creativity beyond your writer's block for your TikTok, and I hope that you continue to grow. Is there anything else that you want to talk about before we go?
I was thinking of new projects. I remembered it. I'm trying to come out with music. I'm getting in studio time like very, very soon.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know. I'm so excited. I haven't been to the studio yet, but that's why I'm learning the guitar and everything. I'm ready to like rock out. I feel like that's part of my style and everything.
And you're in the perfect place for that.
I know. Everybody does it. I'm so excited to finally be in the studio and like sing.
Yeah. No, as you should be. That's so exciting. Thank you so much for coming on Barely Famous.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. You're amazing.
Yeah.